Hey everyone, Andrew Burns from Running to Keep Up here with you, bringing you tips, tricks, best practices on how you can improve your productivity, how you can limit the impact of procrastination in your world, how you can build new useful habits into your life. I first started exploring personal development about 20 years ago, and the reason I started down that path was that I was tired of feeling like everyone else had a secret that they weren't letting me in on. I was tired of feeling like everyone else had their stuff together while I was drowning. I was tired of feeling like I was just running to keep up. I didn't want to run to keep up. I wanted to be at the front of the pack. I wanted to be leading the pack. So I started to read a lot of personal development books. I started to learn a lot. And what I discovered in reading all of those books is that I love those books. And it's that love of those books, the love of the learning that I was gaining and implementing, that led me to start the blog Running to Keep Up. And that led to me recording the audio and video content that you're engaging with right now. So I want to celebrate you for being here. I want to thank you for being here. Maybe you feel like I used to, like you're tired of just running to keep up. I think today I can help you at least get back onto the shoulder of the person at the back of the pack. And I think if you stick with me, we can help you get to the front, to lead from the front. So I've been thinking about New Year's resolutions and how to make them stick. If you go and look at the statistics around New Year's resolutions, about how successful people are with the New Year's resolutions that they've set, they make pretty grim reading. Go and Google them, or maybe just look at your own history of setting that kind of intention at that time of year. I'm sure you let yourself down. I know I definitely did. But actually, Christmas and New Year's are a really good time to do that kind of self-reflecting, that kind of goal setting. We have some time on our hands because we take time off work. Certainly in the UK, often quite a lot of time around that time of year. And we spend time with our friends, with our family, with our loved ones. And if those interactions can't get you thinking about how you can be the best you that you can be, I don't know what can. And a new year feels like a fresh page. It feels like there are infinite possibilities. It reminds me of being at school when you get given a new exercise book. A pristine first page was always the neatest. It certainly was for me. Or when you get a new journal and you reserve your best handwriting for that front page. So the time is right, the motivation is right. So what's going on? What's the problem? I think there are a couple of problems. First, I think, is around planning. Plucking a resolution out of the air at midnight on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, the cusp of the two, is doomed to fail. And it's doomed to fail because you haven't done any planning, you haven't done any thinking, you haven't thought about how you're going to achieve this goal, you haven't thought about where the sticking points are going to be, you haven't even given a cursory consideration to how you're going to deal with those pinch points. So lack of planning is a problem. And I think the other problem is around momentum. Some people are probably going to disagree with me about this, but I think in our everyday work, we slow down through December. Through December towards Christmas, we're on a bit of a slowdown. Even if that's not your intention, the other people around you are slowing down towards Christmas, and that inevitably impacts your day-to-day work. I'm not saying you're not busy in December, but it's a different kind of busy. We're buying presents, we're trying to make sure that we've got food in the cupboard for all the people that we're going to be entertaining over the festive period. But in our everyday work, things are starting to slow down. Then we take time off over Christmas and New Year. And then when we go back in January, we've lost momentum. So the first thing that we have to do is regain that momentum, rebuild that momentum. And building momentum from a standing start is actually quite difficult. So what happens inevitably, I think, is that we put our shiny new New Year's resolution to one side while we build our momentum back to where we were in November, maybe. And by the time we've regained that purpose, our New Year's resolution has dropped off the radar. So what can we do about this? My suggestion is going to be that you set your resolutions in December. You set an old year resolution. The reason for doing that is twofold. Firstly, as I already said, I feel like you have some time in December. You have some time to do some thinking. So think about that goal. Imagine what success in that goal looks like. Imagine what success in that goal feels like. The reason that I'm asking you to do this isn't some kind of new age nonsense. I'm not suggesting that just by imagining the outcome you get the outcome. It's not cosmic ordering or anything absurd like that. But you know that you can have a physical reaction to a well-imagined thought. That's why you start to salivate when you imagine biting into a juicy lemon wedge, or you cringe when you think about a piece of tinfoil scrunched up into a ball and then put into your mouth and you chew it and it's like right back at the teeth at the back touching your gums. You cringe. You have a physical reaction to this well-imagined thought. And so really imagining what success is going to feel like, what success is going to look like, gets your body used to that idea, gets your body, your mind, your whole being into the idea that this is where we're going. So really imagine it. Now take that success and break it down into 5 major moves. What are the 5 major moves that are going to take us to that successful outcome that we've identified, that we've imagined? This is a framework from High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. I love that book. It's a framework that really resonates with me. 5 major moves. That can feel a little bit forced. I don't really care whether it's 4 or 6, but break your goal down into these major components. And then take those major components and break those further down into actionable, deliverable projects. So multi-step outcomes, and the next actions that you can put on your task list. Put them on your task list, put them on your calendar, really put some focus around achieving the success. And now what you also need to do is review regularly. I would say once a week. A weekly review for me is a critical success factor for my whole life, but certainly for a new endeavor like an old year resolution. Review weekly, look at where you're at, look at how you're achieving those projects, look at the number of next actions you're crossing off, consider the 5 major moves during that review process. By doing all of this, by setting all of this up in December, what you're doing is creating momentum to lead you into January. When you get to January, your New Year's resolution, your old year resolution, already has momentum behind it. You already have the wind at your back, as chilly as the wind at this time of year can be. This is how you're going to achieve success. This is how you're going to deliver the intention that you've set for yourself in December. So I hope that serves you. I hope that you really engage with this, you really take this on board. Somewhere around here you're going to find a link to the article that I wrote about this on medium.com. Please click through there and have a read and refer back to that if you've forgotten anything that I said in the video. You're also going to find a link to subscribe to the Running to Keep Up weekly newsletter. That's a newsletter that I send out every week. That has lots of the things that I described at the beginning of this piece. So tips, tricks, best practices on improving your productivity, limiting procrastination and building new habits. You also get access to bonus material and bonus content that I don't share anywhere else. So please click that link and sign up for that weekly newsletter. Subscribe to my account here, follow my account here, follow me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and keep in touch. And together, let's do more than just running to keep up. Let's be great. Thanks, everyone.